Greetings children, this is the second part of MCQs from your lesson, the last lesson. It is from Flamingo textbook. This MCQ session is very useful for your coming board examination in 2021. MCQs, this is the second part. This is for class 12 CBSE students. Look at the first question. The chapter, the last lesson, revolves around story of a young boy, the language, it's important to the citizens of a country, both B and C. So the chapter, the last lesson, revolves around the language and its importance to the citizens of a country. So D is the right option. D is the right option. Come to the next question. What is the duty of every citizen? As in the chapter, the last lesson. The duty of every citizen. First option, to be proud of the country. Second, to safeguard the language. Third option, to safeguard the traditions. Fourth option, none of the above. So, among these four options, what is the duty of a citizen? As in the chapter last lesson. The last lesson is about taking away one's mother tongue and implementing another's there. So, the duty of every citizen in the country is to safeguard the language. To safeguard the language. So that is the right option. Come to the next question. What did the Prussians want to do? As depicted in the chapter, the last lesson. Prussians, Germans, to rule over the territory of France, to rule over the minds of people, to rule over the hearts of people. All the above. Actually, the Prussians not only want to rule over the geographical area, they want to rule over the people also. That's why they implement their language in these two districts, Alsace and Lorraine. So all the options are correct. So the right answer is D. Look at the next question. What does the story of the chapter, the last lesson, reinforce in us? What does it reinforce? Look at the options. We value something more when it is lost. We must behave as good citizens. We should be honest towards the country. We must learn different languages. So, what reinforces through this lesson? The last lesson. We value something more when it is lost. This is the right option. When we lose something from our hold, then only we recognize its value. That idea is reinforcing in us. Come to the next question. The chapter, the last lesson, emphasizes the importance of school and education, mother tongue for everyone, citizenship, culture. So, what is the emphasis part of this lesson? The last lesson. The mother tongue for everyone. That is the importance. Not about a school and education, but the importance of mother tongue. Look at the next question. What does language give us? As in the chapter, the last lesson. Identity, respect, freedom, all the above. So in this lesson, the last lesson, the language tells the people that it is their identity. It brings them respect. It becomes a key to their enslavement, a way of freedom. So all of the above is the right option. Look at next question. What is the underlying sub-theme of the chapter, the last lesson? What is the sub-theme? Importance of language, importance of culture, importance of chauvinism, attitude of teachers and students towards learning and teaching. The sub-theme, as we know, the main theme of the lesson is the language, and sub-theme is the attitude of teachers and students towards learning and teaching. They consider that they have a lot of time before them, so they take it not in a serious way. The lagging of doing their work on daily basis. That is the sub-theme of the lesson, the last lesson. Look at the next question. Why does a man keep postponing the lessons of life, as in the chapter, the last lesson? Options. Because he feels there is plenty of time to do things later. Because he does not find anything important. Because he feels the best is yet to come. All of the above. These options are not suitable with the question. So, the right option is because he feels there is plenty of time, do things later. This keeps man postponing the lessons of life. That is what this chapter brings out. We postpone our lessons. Look at the next question. We have plenty of time to learn our lessons. What attitude of people reflect here? Laziness, disinterest in learning, learning is taken for granted, all the above. Here, we have plenty of time to learn our lessons. Most appropriate answer is learning is taken for granted. Many a time we consider learning is taken for granted, which means that we do not give the true respect to this topic, that learning. That is what reflected in the story, the last lesson. So the right option is learning is taken for granted. Look at the next question. The story, the last lesson, highlights the human tendency that dash. Things can be taken for granted. There is plenty of time to do things. It is better to cheat than to work hard. All of the above. Look at this option. It is better to cheat than to work. Nowhere in the story this idea is given. So all of the above option is not correct. There is plenty of time to do things. This may be the right answer. The last lesson highlights the human tendency that there is plenty of time to do things. That is the highlighting point in the story. Look at the next question. Why did the people of Alsace not give importance to school in the chapter, the last lesson? Look at the next question. Why did the people of Alsace not give importance to school in the chapter, the last lesson? Because they thought there is plenty of time to learn the lessons, because they found it is as a sheer waste of time, because they found it too expensive, because they had better things to do. So all the last three options are not suitable with the content of the story. So because they thought there is plenty of time to learn the lessons. That is why the people of Alsace don't give importance to school. Look at the next question. What unexpected thing happens in the chapter, the last lesson? An order is received from Berlin, maybe. Teaching of German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine becomes compulsory. That is also right. Schools are ordered to close down. No such order is given there, both A and B. So the right option is both A and B. Order came from Berlin, and what is the order? To teach German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. Look at the next question. What do the people of Alsace realize after receiving the order in the chapter, the last lesson? Options are the importance of schools. They would be deprived of what they were not valuing. Schools were fun to go to. Order was passed by deliberately. So the right option is they would be deprived of what they were not valuing. Deprived of means taken away, or devoid of what they were not valuing. They did not value their mother tongue as much as it requires. So it is taken away from them. Look at the next question. What does the story, the last lesson, evoke in the readers? Not to put off things. Do what one can do on that day. Do not be a chauvinist. All of the above. Yes, the story, the last lesson, evoke in the reader, that it generate in the reader the feeling of not put off things. Put off means to put off for another day, extend for another day. Do what one can do on the day, on that day. Don't postpone anything in our life. If we can do on the day, do it then itself. Do not be a chauvinist. Don't keep any chauvinistic idea in our mind. So all of the above is the right option. Look at the next question. What was written in bold on the board in the chapter, the last lesson? Long live France. Be a language chauvinist. Boycott schools. None of the above. Actually, long live France or Viva le France is what written on the board. Its meaning is long live France. Look at the next question. What does long live France prove in the chapter, last lesson? Sadness, patriotism, finality, all the above. So when the master Monsieur Hamel wrote these words, Viva le France, on the blackboard, it represents his sadness, his patriotism, and finality. That is the closure of the procedures. So the answer is all of the above. Look at the next question. Do you think one should respect and learn other languages as well in the context of the chapter, the last lesson? No, yes, maybe, may not be. So yes, we have to respect and learn other people's languages. Yes is the answer here. Next, why was France reluctant to go to school in the chapter, the last lesson? He did not like that place. No. He had started late from home. Maybe. He had not worn his uniform. No. He disliked his teacher. No. So the right option is he had started late from home. If the reason of he did not know the rules of participles, that would be the right answer. But among these four options, the right option is he had started late from home. Look at the next question. Why was France apprehensive of facing Monsieur Hamel in the chapter, the last lesson? The answer for that is he had not prepared his lesson on participles. He was not sure about his homework. He had done the wrong submission. None of the above. So the right answer is he had not prepared his lesson on participle. Look at the next question. What distracted France in the chapter, the last lesson? Chirping of birds, warm, bright day, Prussian soldiers drilling, all of the above. Yes, all these attracted him. Chirping of birds, warm, bright day attracted him, and the Prussian soldiers. From his home to the school, all these things attracted him. So the right answer is all of the above. That really distracted him from going school and attending Moshe Hammer's class. Look at the next question. What could usually be seen in France's classroom in the chapter, the last lesson? Lessons being repeated in unison, yes. Students opening and closing the desk causing great commotion, yes. Teacher's ruler rapping on the table, yes. So the right answer is all of the above. That is the usual way of conducting Monsieur Hammer's classes. Come to the next question. How was the last day of the school in this chapter, the last lesson? Look at the options. Quiet atmosphere with the students sitting on their respective desks. Mr. Hamel was formally dressed and spoke gently to Franz. Yes. Villagers and other people occupied the backbenches. Yes. All of the above. So the right option is all of the above. All the three statements are true here. Look at the next sentence. What was Moshe Hamel's contribution on the last day of school in the chapter, the last lesson? He taught students patiently without losing temper. Yes. He made special notebooks with extra efforts. Yes. Imparted knowledge to one and all on the importance of mother tongue. Yes. All of the above. So the right option is all of the above. All the three statements are true. Look at the next question. What was the impact of Moshe Hamel's teaching in the chapter, the last lesson? Children in the class were quiet and gave a patient ear to the teacher. Yes. Old people of the village attended the class. Yes. Franz made a special effort to understand the lesson. Yes. So all of the above is the right answer. The impact of Moshe Hamel's teaching in the last lesson. Look at the next question. Why did Franz make a special effort to understand the lesson in the chapter, the last lesson? He found it comfortable to grasp. He was guilty of not paying attention earlier. He wanted to be more careful, both A and B. He found it comfortable to grasp. The question is, why did Franz make a special effort to understand the lesson in the chapter? Why did he make a special effort? So the right answer here is B. He was guilty of not paying attention earlier. So he made a special effort to understand his lesson. Look at the next question. How did the old people react to the last lesson in the chapter, the last lesson? They were sorry that they had not gone to the schools for longer and to show respect to the country which would not be theirs now. Right? They wanted to pay respect to the language which they would not be able to learn anymore. Yes. They wanted to thank Moshe Hamel for his unflinching service to the village for the past 40 years. Yes. So all of the above is the right option. Look at the next question. What was Alsace responsible for in the chapter, the last lesson? For procrastinating, for unity in diversity, for being language chauvinist? None of the above. Alsace, the people of Alsace is responsible for procrastinating. Procrastinating means that put off things for another day. Postponing things. Postponing things for another time. That is procrastination. Look at the next question. What was Franz responsible for in the chapter, the last lesson? for being a careless learner, for delaying and avoiding the learning of the language, for distracting other students, all of the above. What was France responsible for? France was responsible for delaying and avoiding learning the language. He does not distract any other student. He doesn't remain too much careless, etc. So the right option is for delaying and avoiding the learning of the language. This is the second MCQ series from last lesson. For more such CBSE board examination materials, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching till the end.